Hi, it's Grandma. I am cooking today. So today we're gonna cook some egg rolls and steamed rice. Now, egg rolls are like some Chinese food and they're very delicious, and we'll make a special sauce to dip them in. So let's get going and I'll show you what I have cooking already. Over here, I have some onions in the pan, and those are getting nice and soft and getting cooked. And then in this pot, I have some water that is boiling, and I'm going to put some rice in the water to cook the rice. So I have 1.5 cups of water boiling, and I'm going to add 1 cup of rice. This is my measuring cup for the rice. And that's what it looks like out of the bag. So I'm going to put that right into here, and maybe just a little bit more. And then I'm going to take a spoon and stir that up. And then put the lid back on and turn the heat down, and the rice will cook while I'm doing other things. Okay, so the other things that I'm gonna put into the filling for my egg rolls are carrot, and I've already got that cut up. So that's gonna go into the pan. And then I have some cabbage, and I have that already cut up, and it's gonna go into the pan. Then I am going to also put some garlic into there. So let me show you what it looks like. I broke off one little piece of the garlic, and you have to take the paper stuff off. It's helpful to use a knife. Peel that paper off of the garlic, and that is what's inside. Now I've got some other ones already right here, and I'm just gonna chop them up like that. And then these little chunks will go in the pan too. Keep chopping. Okay, it's pretty much chopped up into tiny little chunks, and I scooped it all up into my knife like that. And let's turn this around. That's gonna go into the pan. Now I'm going to stir it all together. Just like that, and we'll let it cook for just a few minutes. Now, I'm also going to put this into my egg roll filling, and doesn't this look funny? This is called ginger, and what I'm going to do is break a piece of it off. And then I will take a small knife, a little one, and I'm going to peel the bark part off to show the inside. Because I want the inside. I don't want to use this part. I'm going to throw that part away. or maybe put it in compost. So I'm just going to keep peeling the bark off. And then I'll show you how I shred it into the pan with the other stuff. That's what it looks like, all peeled. Wish you could smell it because it smells so good. Okay, now I'm going to show you how I'm going to shred this into the pan, this ginger into the pan. I'm going to use a special tool called a grater, and I'm going to grate it into the pan, and you'll see what that looks like. So I have my grater and I have my ginger, and I'm just going to rub it back and forth on the grater like this. And what happens is it grates it into little tiny pieces. And I can scoop it off and put it right in the pan. Look at, see, that's the other side. So I'm grating it on this side, and then it kind of collects on the other side when I turn it over. And then I scoop it out with my finger. You might see, you might see some of it falling into the pan while I'm shredding it. That's quite a bit of ginger. And it's so yummy. Okay. Now, the very last thing that I'm going to put into my egg roll stuffing filling is some tofu. And it's very simple. I'm just going to take my tofu and pull off chunks of it just like that, right into the pan. And then I'll mix it all together, and then we'll put the filling inside of the egg roll wrappers, and I'll show you how we do that in just a second. Just crumbling it. Tofu is made out of soybeans, and it's kind of chewy. So I'm just going to keep crumbling some tofu chunks into the egg roll filling. And then the very last thing I'm going to add to the filling is some salt. Just a little bit. And this is a grinder, so I have to do it like this. Okay, time to mix it all up one more time. And then we will wrap it into the egg roll wrappers. Okay, so I scooped out all of the tofu, cabbage, carrot, onion, ginger into a bowl, and I went and got my wrappers out of the fridge. And let me show you what they look like. They're made out of a dough, and they're very, very thin. See how thin they are? So what I'm going to do is put one on the cutting board. Let me angle that better, just like that. And I'm going to take a scoop of some filling and put it right on the wrapper. I'm going to put maybe 2.5 scoops on there, just like that. And then I have a little dish here with just some water in it. And I'm going to put my fingers in the water. I already washed my hands. And I'm going to put some water right on the edge, 2 edges of the wrapper. And then I'm going to take one corner, it's just kind of like rolling a burrito, and pull it over top, just like that. Make sure none of my filling gets out. Stay in there, filling. And then roll it like that. Bring one corner over. Bring the other corner over. And then, oh, my wrapper fell apart. But that's okay. Darn, that one fell apart. Let's see if I can do a better one. Okay. We'll try this again. Sometimes they fall apart. That's okay, because I have more wrappers. So a couple of spoons of filling, just like that. Dip my fingers in the water. Put it on the 2 edges. Then roll my egg roll. Just like that. So now I have it all rolled up inside of there, and I'm going to put it back in the pan and let it cook. So let's make another one. Put some water. I already put a scoop of filling, and now I'm going to roll it. Rolled up like a little burrito, and it's gonna go in the pan with the other one. Making one more for the camera, for the video. So when I put the water on the dough, that's to help it seal it shut so it doesn't pop back open. So if I don't put the water, it'll open right back up. But that makes the dough stick to itself. So I'm gonna put this one in the pan and then make a few more. Okay, this is the very last one I'm going to make. Scoop in the filling. Dip my fingers in the water. And then roll. Roll, baby, roll. Now I'll show you what they look like when they're getting cooked. See how they turn brown? I flipped those ones over. Let's see if there's one to flip over right now. Yeah, I bet I could flip that one over. So when I flip it over, you'll see that it got cooked on that side. So now I'm going to cook it on this side. So I'm just going to let those cook for a minute, and then I'm going to make some sauce, and we'll get some rice, and we'll try it all out together. Okay, so I got a couple egg rolls out of the pan, and now I'm going to get some steamed rice. See how it cooked? Now I can eat it, because when you don't cook rice, you can't eat it. It's too hard to cook. So I'm going to scoop myself out some rice. Yummy! I love rice, don't you? All right. Now we'll bring this over here and I'll show you how I make some sauce to dip my egg rolls in. While the food is cooling down, so I make a very simple sauce to dip my egg rolls in. I use soy sauce, and it's kind of brown, huh? And the other thing I use is called rice vinegar, or sometimes they call it rice wine vinegar. And see how clear it is? Kind of is a little bit yellow. So I do something funny when I measure to make my sauce. I use the cap from my bottle. And so I'm going to use 1 cap of the rice vinegar and a 1/2 cap of my soy sauce. And then I just take a spoon and mix it together like that. And that's what it looks like. So then I take my egg roll and I dip it in there and I give it a taste test. Let's see how it tastes. That is good. You see the insides? That's the stuff I put inside the egg rolls. The other thing I like is I put a little bit of soy sauce on my rice. Just a little bit. Let's try that. That is delicious too. Now, you know what the funny thing is about egg rolls? They don't have any eggs in them. So I don't know why they're called egg rolls, but they're very delicious. Let's dip this one more time in my sauce. So good. That's how I make egg rolls and steamed rice. I love you. I'll see you next time I cook.